rain morning, or Boker Tov, Geshem Ba.
Geshem Ba.
Geshem Ba. Anyways, it's pouring, raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. I think we investigated that once. But I want to start this year with, Mishnah and Peah. We daven every morning. We say, Elu Dvarim she'en lehem mishir. And then we say, Elu Dvarim she'adam ochel peroseim be'olam hazeh, v'keren kayemis lo la'olam haba. Elohein. And you know what's missing? Hachnosis kala ulvayas hameis. They're both missing. And if you try to look the Makoros, they all talk about it, but they don't really have another source.
What do you mean they're missing?
It's not. Where do you find that? You don't find it in the Mishnah and Peah. You do not find Achnosas Kala Uvoyas Ames. And there are those, the Mefarshim say that there's in the category of Gemil Chesadim. Why am I starting this year this way?
It's my whole drasha. I gave you this drasha.
Yeah, but you gave a drasha as to the other thing, not the other things that are missing.
No, I gave to the that the Brisa in Shabbos Kuf Chof Zayin, that's where it is. There's a Brisa in Shabbos Chof Zayin that has a list of all these things, and it doesn't have Achnosas Kala V'as Ames.
Right. Because it's all within part of Gemil Chesadim. You're true. You did.
All the things are. All the things are.
But why Hagnosas Kala?
But it's not,
you want to hear? I saw someone who brought down that it's because Sora Imenu, that it was the Kvura of Sora right next to the Shidduch of Yitzchak. Did you see that one? I heard that.
What is that?
That the reason, the smichus, the connection between Avoyas Ames and Achnosas Kala is the Kvura of Sora is right at the same time of the Shidduch of Yitzchak. You ever think of that one?
I mean, it's a smichus.
Smichus, yes. I saw it brought down.
Because when he buries her, then he has to make a shidduch of Yitzchak.
Right. Okay, so but you said something in the name of a Moshe Shapiro. No, you said your own?
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear Nochamal. Good Chazorah is always good.
No, I found it eventually in the Siddur Eitzah Tfilas. It's brought, I think, in the name of the Maharshal, if I'm not mistaken. The Maharshal said that it's a tos in the Tfus. In other words, it doesn't belong there.
Okay.
But
Minhag, I saw, why do we do it if it's a toes? Minhag Yisrael. Minhag Yisrael. That's right. Listen, I wanted to segue into this.
I think even Shmayahu had some comments about this. We talked about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you're correct. But that's what happens with the memory. At least, why do we read Amalek every year in Zachar? Because it takes a year, you forget. Zachar. Well, anyway, please let me do the segue from the Hachnosas Kala to Avoyas Ames. The Hachnosas Kala was last night a big mazel tov to Yitzi and Chavi for the Vort, and the of which I attended by Zoom or attended by WhatsApp, the Vort of Rav Shach. Rav Shach, did you know that? Rav Shach got engaged. Elazar Menachem, they named their kid. My nephew is Elazar Menachem. Isn't that a beautiful name?
Yes.
Elazar. So Elazar is engaged to Shoshana.
Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yehei lanu, o Yisrael.
Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yehei lanu, o Yisrael. Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yehei lanu, o Yisrael. Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yehei lanu, o Yisrael. A very shout out, and a mazel tov to my dear sister, who's the grandmother, the Bubba for a wonderful nachas. We should have many simchas in the family.
Man.
Now, getting to the Levoyas Ames. our good friend who we listen to often in this year, Moshe Chabusha, unfortunately is sitting for his brother Yosef ben David. His brother is sitting Shiva for him, and maybe we'll see Mirz Hashem on that. Right now, we are actually going from the Vort that I just attended, and we're going to, not Lavoyas Ames, we're going to do Minchas Nichum Avelim, which is also part, not mentioned specifically, but is something to be remembered. Anyway, we have Yartzeit today, is Chav Dalet Teves. We have, I'll just give you a hint, his name is Bornstein.
Sachacho.
Okay, so we have the Avnei Nezer is the father of Avraham, and the Shem Mishmuel, the Sachachov, is Shmuel ben Avram, is the Sachachov, is the Sachachov's Yartzeit today, and also it's the Yartzeit of, if I could read my handwriting all the way down here, Eliyahu. I'll give you a hint.
What's the question?
The question is, whose Yartzeit is it today? It has to do with a letter. I already gave you the answer.
Wait, it's not the Avnei Nezer you're saying?
No, it's the we just said the Sachachova. But on top of that, there's a second Yartzeit, and it has to do. I thought if you listen to what I said before, you get the hint. I said it has to do with a letter. Michtav me Eliyahu, Reb Eliyahu Dessler.
Michtav Eliyahu.
Yes, Eliyahu Dessler. It's his Yartzeit today. The Mashkiach of Panovich, we mentioned Elazar Menachem, and Rav Dessler was the Mashkiach of Panovich.
Oh, by the way, I spoke to somebody yesterday. 1 second, my wife is calling.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I didn't do that. As soon as I can, I'll do it.
Okay. We have a little pause here
Okay.
for.
Bye.
Okay. So you were about to say that you spoke to someone yesterday about something that you discussed?
Yes, we talked about that Rav Gifter went to Europe and went and tells by Rav Avram Yitzchak Bloch.
Right.
And I asked you what's
whether
the relationship to Eli Meir Bloch, who was a mashkiach.
Right.
So last night I met with somebody who was learned and tells
Right.
by
Shmayo did not answer us.
yeah, he learned and tells, and he said that Avram Yitzchak was the Rosh Yeshiva in Tells in Europe, and Eli Meir was his son.
Yes.
And his son and Ramotel Katz
Were the both
together were both the Rosh Yeshivas.
But I think, according to what my sources is, that he first started as a mashkiach and then became the Rosh Yeshiva. That's what I had found. But anyway, but you did verify that we're talking about father and son.
Father and son.
Okay, so the Baruch Hashem, every so often it's good to have Drusha L'Chakira. I think we're getting close to our destination, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we could do our Tehillim?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're under Tzadik Gimel, and again, I figured we'd have a little something special for Tzvi. Tzadik Gimel. Day is the day. Hashem, oh Jesus, Jesus, Hapikon Teven, Bahashimon, Oh
What number?
Okay. And he asked me all these difficult questions. Achenu, Kol Beis Yisrael, Hanasonim B'Tzara. We're going to have to interrupt our broadcast so we can make the Shiva call. We shall return.
Achenu, Kol Beis Yisrael. Achenu, Kol Beis Yisrael.
Hanasonim B'Tzara, B'Tzara Uvashivya, Dim Ben Bayam Uven Bayabasha. Hamakam Yerachem Aleim Yotzim Mitzara, Lerevacha Umefel Yara, Umeshiba V'Geula Hashta, Bagala Uvizman Kari, V'Nomar Amen. So we should tell the chat what we just did. We didn't know what time the Shiva hours were, and we knew that there was a notice. Usually they list the hours. They didn't list the hours. And we came, and it's pouring rain, and Baruch Hashem, we got drenched with holy waters, and we were told that he would be there at 10 o'clock. So I said, Mitzaref Machshava Lamasa, and of course 3 said, is Machshava Mitzaref Lamasa? What did you say?
Kadosh Baruch Hu was Mitzaref Machshava Toiva Lamaisa.
Right.
But it's not what people think. People think that they had a Machshava Toiva and they didn't do it, so Hashem is Mitzaref at Kila, they did it. Kadosh Baruch Hu is Mitzaref when a person goes through the motions in entirety, and then B'chol Zot, he's not able to, doesn't happen. But this is an example.
Yes.
We went to the place, we did everything we had to do, and then all of a sudden we find out that
the hours are later.
And
not because there was any way we could. We didn't have phone numbers.
So
but anyway,
we did the maximum we could. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is then Mitzaref Machshava Tova.
But the truth of the matter is, we want to follow up and make the phone call and tell them what we did. So anyway, we're talking about the Sachachava today. And Pujol, can you turn on the light? Shmuel ben Avraham, he doesn't listen to me. He's the Avnei Nezer, as Tzvi pointed out, but he's also the Iglei Tal, Bornstein, Sachachav, Nolad ב-1856 ונפטר ב-1926. נולד בקוצק, איזה קוצקה. בגיל 8 עבר לפרצ'וב. שמעיו, where's פרצ'וב? בגיל 18 עבר לקרושנביץ. Another place. Oh, watch out for this bus. This bus doesn't like you. Okay. התחתן ב-1873 ונפטר. What? And his wife passed away 1901, Nisa Shenit. He got married again in 1903. Hirbitz Torah b'yeshivas Krosnovitz ב-1910. Did you ever hear of these places related to the Sachachava? Niftar Aviv v'huchtar ka'admor k'Sachachav Rosh Hashiva. Okay. Avar le-Luj. Achar kach le-Zerditz. These, I never heard of any of these places. He was Mechaber, of course, the Shem Mishmuel. We also mentioned that. Okay. We also said today's the yahrzeit of Eliyahu Eliezer ben Ruvain Dov Dessler, of Eliyahu Dessler, שנולד ב-1882, ונפטר ב-1953, נולד בהומל בבלארוס. בגיל 14 למד בישיבת קלם, וקיבל סמיכה ביד דודו, רב חיים אויזר, Brzezinski was his uncle. ב-1980 התחתן ועבר לאנגליה. ב-1928 כיהן כרב the East End of London. How do you like that? We have the East Side in New York, and you have the East End in London.
In Boston, we have the West End.
You have the West, and we also had that across the street, Columbia. It was a bar. It was called the West End Bar.
How would you know about
I don't know. I'm a member of the bar, of course. You know that. אחר כך בדולסטון, פתח ישיבה. Dalston must be in England. And in the 40s, he helped found the Kollel at Gateshead. And he was the Manhig Ruchani. And 1947, Allah Bnei Brak at the behest of the Panovich Rav, and he was the Mashgiach of Yeshivas Panovich. He was Mechaber, of course, Michtav Me'Eliyahu, that's how we know him, and Hayad HaMusar, and Chinuch Ladoros, Chidushe Hagarayel, Dessler Al Shas. Okay, so that's the yahrzeit. But you know, when we talk about the Be'er Halacha, the Be'er HaTorah, what do you think of Be'er HaTorah? This is
Or Chaya. What is that?
very interesting. Maybe that's where the Orach Chaim used to live. You never know. Okay.
Or Chaya.
So when you think about the Be'er HaTorah, you think about Melech, Elimelech, and well, today is the yahrzeit of Moshe Mordechai Biderman, Chavdal Teves. Moshe ben Shimon Nasan Nata Biderman Nolad B'Yerushalayim, ב-1904, ונפטר בבני ברק, במוצאי שבס אור לכ"ד טבת, ב-1987. קברו אותו בהר זיסן. הוא הדור השישי בן אחר בן לרב דוד המייסד את שלשלת ללב. So when you think of Biderman, you're thinking of the Lelevers. Lelevers. Sabo, Reb Dov... I'm sorry, you can't make a parody of a parody. That's a parody. Told us to parody. Sabo Rab David Tzvi Shlomo יצא לפולין, שם שהה אביו וכך הכיר כמה מצדיקי פולין מקרוב. ביקר בבלז אצל רבי יששכר דוב, ובליל שבס ליד השולחן שאל האדמו"ר מבלז, איפה הבחור מארץ ישראל? is doch arena. You see that? A little Yiddish?
It is raining outside.
No, not Rainer. And Prince Rainier? You remember Prince Rainier? Rainer means pure.
Rain is pure.
Pure, right.
Yiddish.
So who? It's interesting whether there's a connection between rain that purifies and Rainer. Oshivas Yodo. Achar Ptiras Aviv Som Gedalia 1929. Uchtar Moshe Mordechai La'admor. Od Lo Igil Gil Shloshim. So he was a young Admor. בשנת 1924 עבר לבני ברק, שם התפרסם כאוסן נפלוס וחסידיו הסרבו מאוד. בימים הנוראים תמיד עלה לירושלים, ובשנת 1978 חזר לגור שם. You're going to pass your office, right? Am I correct? You're going to pass your office?
Yes.
Netzach Yehuda? Yeah. We have plug. I want you to know there are ads in Meitav. I have seen a whole bunch of ads. I don't know if you've seen them for Netzach Yehuda, for Trumot. Are you familiar with them? Hebrew.
What's Meitav?
Meitav is like Reuters, the Yiddish. I get.
It's a newsletter?
No, it's a news feed. I get updates every few minutes of what goes on everywhere. So they have, as I saw, ads for Netzach Yehuda. Are you familiar with the Trumot?
For Trumot or for Giyus?
What Trumot? And are you interested? Because I know you're in that. If I see him, I should forward it to you so you get an idea of what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do. Okay, Rav Moshe Mordechai Yitzchaten in Ethel. That's in it. I know Ethel. Do you know a Yiddish person by the name of Ethel?
My wife's grandmother.
Was it Ethel?
Yeah, and my niece is named after her.
So
Ethel.
two Ethels. But unfortunately for all my kids, I gave them English names. So that would be a perfect English name, Ethel for Ethel. Okay, Bat Reb Avraham Schwartz.
Reminds me, I was at the Chasna the other night, 2 nights ago, and they were very, very good. This guy, his name is Mirsky.
Oh, I know.
Kobe Mirsky.
Yeah.
Very, very good entertainer. He plays an organ, but he's a dancer and he's a singer. And
very familiar
he
name.
made it very, very, very Lebedik. Then he starts to sing this song, and the name of the song is Thank You Hashem.
Oh, I'm very familiar with that.
You are?
Yes.
But the only thing is that, like Ethel, so it came out, Thank You Hashem. He was singing, Thank You Hashem, Thank You Hashem.
Are you talking just like Rehov Avraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not thank you.
I was thinking, it's not thank you. You're not thanking anybody, you're thanking.
Well, the Teimanim would say, the Teimanim. The Levitches say,
oh, so the Teimanim could say thank you.
That's right. They would say, thank you.
But the Israelis say, thank you. Thank you, Hashem.
Thank you. They're always thinking about Shir Yonim. Okay, so
he passing by.
Here is. I mean, we're passing by. If I could flash.
Beit Ha'am. Do you know, I once came to listen to hear Kalbach. Many years
over
ago.
Here.
In Beit Ha'am.
Shlomo played here.
Shlomo played here.
Boy, so you really have a connection with this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Before, is that perhaps the inspiration for you to get the office over here on this block?
No.
Because that's an interesting area.
Became available.
It became available. Okay, let's see if I could flash our. Here we go. I'm going to take. I hope I don't lose you. We're going to show. We're passing the office of Netzach Yehuda, base Netzach Yehuda, Mishkan Hamalacha. Is that the part?
Hamalacha is the owner of the building.
The owner of the building. Okay. So here we did that. Let's see if we could. I'm going to hold on to this because we're nearing our destination. Hold on to your seats. By the way, I want to thank Reb Tzvi for not only Hachnosas Orchim, but for giving me the hot seat right now. Baruch Hashem, my foundation is very warm. The Yesod. And I will not elaborate further. Shmaryahu has the Shulshelet of Lelev over here. We're seeing show and see. And he brings down that the Rav Biderman, the Lelev had Avos Eretz Yisrael, Echad Mechesiyov Me'arzos Abrit, Biserlo, She Bonim Sham Shikun Gadol Avur Yehudim. But Moshe Mordechai Lo Samach Al Absorah Amar Yehudim Gorim B'chutz La'aretz Rak Dirat Aroi Ava Kasher Yehudim Bonim La'atzman Shikun Ba'aretz Lo Lahem Al Mea Simcha Azos V'hechan Tzviya Hatzipisa Yeshua. So you could see a little musar from the Lelevas. Okay, we reached the point where we're going to learn a little until we get to our destination. This year is about Nidchei Yisrael.
Did you read your Yiddish?
Oh, I didn't read Yiddish from today's Tehillim because we were diverted. We were Osik b'mitzvah, potem b'mitzvah. I could only tell you as I stretch out and my hand is covering over half the camera. We did Tzadik Gimel, and the last pasuk of Tzadik Gimel, which is the one that we use, is Eidosecha Nemnu Ma'od Levescha Nava Kadosh Hashem Leorich Yamim. Zayin, very good, very good. Zayin Hoyz, Vet Hoben Schenkheit und Heiligkeit. See? Hashem, Rebbeinu Shalom Leorich Yamim. Das Beis HaMikdash wenn die Eif lange Tag und wird keinmal nicht Chorev werden. And I don't know, it will never be destroyed, yes. But I don't know why I have the word begleibt. Where was that coming? Anyway, begleibt means to believe, but I don't see it over here. Anyway, that's my Yiddish for today. You have your Yiddish for today? This, by the way, we're passing the Feuerstein Institute. For you, are you familiar with the Machon Feuerstein?
Yeah.
Did you know it exists? Well, here it is. Obviously, the Feuerstein family had something to do with this, and you and I know the Feuersteins. They were a wonderful family.
They are a wonderful family.
Sam, Mo, and Morty, unfortunately, was Nifter. And right now, I can't get my tail out. He's stuck. So we're going to have to wait until we stop. So I was going to do our Nidchei Yisrael, but we'll continue. Not outside, we're going to continue in
Morgan.
No, my residence. We continue this year. I'm continue inside. So with that, I'm going to say to my dear friend Sri, who's not going to walk today, I'm going to say, Chaim Tovim!
Chaim Tovim.
Okay. Now we're continuing the shir in dry territory. We're Amarti שאנחנו בפרק כ"ו, נדחי ישראל מדברים על שני דברים כלאיים וגם על הקפת פאת ראש והזקן. Not to use a razor and not to wear shotnays. Okay, אסור להלביש חברו בכלאיים משום לפני עיוור לא תנתק מכשול. Not only is it a prohibition for you to wear shotnays, but even to give your shotnays clothing to others, it's a prohibition of Vayikra, Yutes, Yudalid. Before a blind person, you don't put a stumbling block. In other words, you don't mislead someone by giving him shotnays. Paragraph Hey. K'nechsev lo subah shotnays ubeged kilayim shotnays lo yale alecha kiblu chazal da'eno isur min haTorah elo levishas o ha'alad v'kisui afal pi she'ein lovish. So the prohibition of shotnays is to wear it or to put it in such a way where you cover yourself. You don't have to wear it, but perhaps as a blanket. You put it in yourself to warm yourself, and that you derive pleasure, and that's shotnays. Avol hatziya tachtav, but to have it below you, mutar min haTorah, mid'oraisa, that is for you to sit on it. Avol mid'rabanan, asur lahatziya tachtav afilu esem atzol zal gabi zevet kilayim tachtav. Even if you have 10 layers of blankets, and only the lowest layer is shotnays, and you're sitting on it, mid'rabanan, that is asur. Vav, halokeach kli tzemer me'akum, if you buy a wool item from wool piece of clothing from a Gentile, tzarich livdak yofe yofe shema heim tfurim b'pishtan. You have to send it to the shotness laboratory. How do you like that? To check to see that it doesn't have linen. You really have to take out all the shotnez threading. Even if the Gentile person says, "Oh, I threaded it with hemp or silk," or meshi, ein neman, he's not believed. But you should never send a tailor. You can't tell him to sew together, to fix your clothing, and he might use with semer to use pishtan and thereby making it shatnez. But unless you tell him use these threads, and you give him cannabis or meshi, hemp or silk. Okay. Cannabis or meshi, because Irena sheyivdak achar kach im lo hichlif was yena shapi. You know what I'm saying? He of course would not substitute it and put his shatnez on purpose, because that would be against the government law, false representation. There's a way to test the linen by kaba maher, that if you set it on fire, it extinguishes quickly. Cannabis, cannabis, hemp takes a long time to be extinguished. The hemp continues to burn and curls. There's another way to determine what the thread is. If you stretch out the thread, just like long hairs, then that is a sign that is hemp. That none of these tests are valid. Rosh Razakon, the Chafetz Chaim says, now that we've discussed Kilayim, let's go on to the issue of Kafas Pas Rosh, not to put a razor, Asur Lahavir, to remove Sahara Zakan, your beard, below Asra Torah El Batar, removing it with a razor. Shenema Lo Tiskash Tashachis as Pe'asachar, as it says in Yikra Yutes Chav Zayin, you can't destroy, in other words, you can't use a razor for your beard. Dover Shu Mashkis Zeotar. The Hamaviro Batar, a person who does it over B'chamish Levin, transgresses 5 prohibitions. Yeshbo, hate Peos, because there are 5 corners. Peos Rosha, but you can cut your hair, cut your beard with scissors. Avol Kain Tar, the Hainu Samachul Vasoro, but you got to be careful not to use the part of the scissor that could be part of the razor. You call them Nisharim, Shemisparayim, Shiasa, Giluch, Bechelik, Elyon, Minisparayim, Velomach Tachton, that you should use the upper portion of the scissors, because that's duller, but the bottom part is like a razor. Shemiasa Tachton Levad, Have Qatar. If you use only the bottom part of the scissors, it will be like using a razor. This is all cutting your beard, and general is something that there are people who do not cut their beards at all. Like cutting your beard is as if you're cutting off the connections of holiness to above. A paragraph days for the Indian of, by the way, you could hear the rain pelting in the background. These are Gishmei Bracha. The corners of the beard are 5. Rabo Deos, and there are many opinions what they are. Yuri Shemaim Yotza, a Kulam should, below Yaver Tar Zikno, should not put a razor at all in his beard. So, for example, over in this area over here at the payas, it's very important not to use a razor. If they use shavers, that's okay for over there. Paragraph Gimel Pa'asa Rosh, Yesh Gam came Rabbi Torah B'hu Masha Kasav Lo Sakifa Pas Roshchem Yesh Omer the Payas Rosh also in the Torah field Misparayim. Then people say you can't even use scissors for that area. Keintar the Hainu Samach B'Soro only if it's close. That's why shavers should be kosher, because if a shaver is too close to your skin, it is equivalent to a razor, and it would be usher, even though shavers are generally mutter. Shir Apeya, the get share shall reparato is from your forehead, ad the matam in the ozen to the bottom of your ear, from here to the ear Lel Makom Sha'alechi, where the lower cheek emerges, and Atachton Yotze Umisparich and divides. Okay, that's it for today. I wish everyone Chaim Tovim.